finally got around to talking about something. Welcome to the first cup of coffee. Okay, if you didn't know, Jasper, aka Joy Turner, is a writer and comedian whose videos involve MLP Thomas and Sarah Max comics and videos, as well as Jasper getting pranked, a member of the Brony analysis. I actually made Jasper uncomfortable because I questioned his relationship with his girlfriend. I apologized to him while bringing stuff that didn't have any reason to be there. I got accused by Bliss that the video that I made was an apology video. She then labeled me as a title fan because of that assumption. Though before that, I actually looked at how not to be a title fan on Bliss's video in reaction format. Granted, it was their experience, but I thought while reacting, I'd just give my reasons why you shouldn't always assume they are entitled. Silverquill actually helped me realize that she is willing to listen to someone else's thoughts, and I learned something from Silver. I'm going to say, just because someone acts entitled doesn't mean they are entitled, or always are. People can change and learn from their mistakes. Sometimes the reason why they do it is because they didn't have experience with conversations and need to learn this. Heck, the possible reason why they pester you is probably because they feel guilty about what they said and are trying to fix it. By the way, don't apologize or look for a way to help. They need to heal before you do anything. You risk having them retreat. I understand that there's a time and place, but if you have to say the time and place, it comes off as you not trying to put the effort into opening to others. Some at least need to know when they can talk, though asking them how they are doing might help with the situation as well, including asking to help with something. Like Buzz said, if you keep pestering them, they aren't going to give you time to talk. However, don't always assume they are entitled. Otherwise, you might end up doing something that you will regret. This isn't me being entitled. This is me giving my experience with something I did a while back. Don't assume things because it'll make an ass out of you and me. Though hopefully she apologizes about this because she is the nicest person. BTW, takes breaks when you get a chance. It will refresh your mind. She basically thinks I am a tile. Suffice to say, this is the last time I'm reaching out to her. Jasper is just as guilty of being a tile as well. Until they apologize for labeling me, they are getting my tile labeler title. All I did was ask a question, and they still label me as entitled. Hopefully they don't block me on YouTube because this is bullshit. She doesn't know me, so why would she assume I'm entitled without checking her own video or at least trying to hear my story? It's almost like she's thinking up an excuse to hate me. I was trying to be a reasonable person, but I guess she likes to think what Star Wars said about the pony of shells. Once a villain, always a villain. Though there might be some misunderstanding in the least bit. So Bliss, I don't know when you're available, but if you want to talk about it, my Discord server is open. We could talk about the situation like civilized people. Anytime you're available. If you feel like to bring Jasper, I think it might be a good idea since I'm the one who discomforted him. Just in case. If not, that's fine, and I totally understand. While I'm on the topic of entitlement, I might as well look at an article entitled People and maybe give out whether or not we were entitled.
4 signs that they are entitled. 1. They think they're better than you. Let's start with the big one. Entitled individuals genuinely think they're better or more important than others. Making a request at someone else's expense, with no sense that their request might be inappropriate, definitely qualifies as entitled.
Okay, you could make the argument that I am being entitled because I'm asking for an apology at someone's expense. Whether or not it's appropriate, I don't know. Heck, considering she has more subscribers than me, and the fact she's made more friends and acquaintances is enough to make me think I'm not the best guy. Though, couldn't this apply to Bliss? I mean, if she has a reason to say it's only you, then I will say, okay, I looked it up, And to be fair, I'm not sure if tweets saying sorry about the loss by saying at least he's no longer suffering may qualify as an actual funeral. People, keep in mind I should never say that to a grieving person. I don't care if you're saying it to someone who has dealt with grief. If you say it to someone like that, you'll get slapped in the face figuratively. The whole article is on my tweet. I mean, there could be something I'm missing, so feel free to give out an article about this. I'm not dictating, just giving my thoughts. After all, they're just internet sources, and just because the internet says this doesn't mean it's entirely me that's entitled. I will apologize for acting entitled since I am not a Sith in real life. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Okay, maybe not complete Sith, but still, I don't want to act like the bad guy.
2. They hold double standards for themselves and others. Entitled people think nothing of inconveniencing others. They'll do things like canceling at the last minute, no-showing appointments, or requiring lots of other people's time and effort to get a task done.
Okay, there is probably that sign. Not toward this, but a lot of my double standards comes from impatience. But at the same time, I don't want to rush them. So this is a case where this side could be me just expecting something. So I had to make adjustments to not have that double standard. I'm sorry for this, but I can't make any promise not to do it again. Just point out this double standard when I'm not angry and I'll try a different method that isn't going to cause double standards. You can suggest some too. Whether or not I take it will depend on the agreement.
3. They have a hard time playing fairly because fairness implies equality. Entitled people have difficulty compromising, negotiating, following rules, waiting their turn, or taking one for the team. They don't apologize.
This doesn't apply to me in this case, at least not entirely. Mostly our fed is just me not paying attention. An ADHD thing for sure. Not excusing it, just saying that I always try to follow the rules. I mean, if you want to argue that I'm doing it poorly, go right ahead. Just make sure you show some proof of the rules. Though, granted, I could look it up myself. I'm not exactly the brightest, so if I ask for some proof, just show me. I could try to show proof myself. But keep in mind that's not always the case. So grain of salt, as it were. Lizzie still owes me an apology for assuming that this wasn't an apology video.
4. They have a tendency to manipulate and control others. They think manipulation and controlling behavior will get them what they want. When it doesn't, they quickly get threatening and hostile. With people they perceive to be below them, like service workers or customer support, they're rude and go out of their way to show that they're dominant and superior. And this includes throwing tantrums and leaving deliberate messes in their wake when they don't get what they wanted.
I understand that the audio wasn't good, but she's basically assuming I didn't apologize without any proof, making an ass out of both of us. So in this case, she's got 2 of 4. Signs of entitlement, with Saiwan not helping her case. Though there is a chance that she will. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Yeah, I wasn't like that, Bliss. But others, yeah, I guess that munitioning card is going to take some time to control. Overall, I did act completely entitled, but Bliss was half of those things, though I was more entitled than her. Okay, she does have a reason to think little of me. Doesn't excuse her hypocrisy, but I will admit that she has higher ground than me. So maybe I might have to.
Use wish fulfillment to set limits. An entitled person will hold all sorts of expectations. A friend may expect you to babysit on a moment's notice, a grown child may expect to inherit enough that she doesn't have to bother saving for retirement, or a student expects a better grade just because they're used to getting more than one A.
Okay, I can't call where she didn't do that, unless you tell me this is your problem, isn't blaming or critiquing. So take that for a grain of salt on her end. For me, it's kind of balance on my end. Sometimes I do it, and sometimes I don't. So in this case, this is hard to prove on my end, and I want to give her a benefit of a doubt.
Treat everyone equally. If you've ever been in preschool, you probably remember your teacher using the phrase, "You get what you get and you don't get upset." Do the equivalent to stave off entitled kids, employees, or students. Don't bend the rules or make exceptions for one entitled person if you can't do the same for everyone. Why? Because making exceptions feeds into the idea that the entitled person is special and superior. Plus, it has the side effect of making others feel resentful. Just like in preschool, everyone will feel more secure if you run a tight, egalitarian ship.
Okay, I understand some of her rules, and like I said, I can't memorize all of the rules and know what I missed. And the funny thing is that I don't know how to get out of the title list or know when I can view her Twitter feeds. So in this case, at least she's trying. The same could probably be said about me. Then again, the majority struggle with this. I can't give out proper statistics. So if you want to vouch for her on the rules, go right ahead.
Feel a little compassion for them. Yes, entitled people can make your blood boil. But underneath it all, there's that raging sense of inadequacy. It doesn't mean they can treat you like dirt, but it can be helpful to remember their lives and relationships, however they may look on the outside, are pretty miserable. By politely sticking to your boundaries and treating everyone equally, you may be helping by modeling good behavior. It's not your job to change their personality, but by politely sticking to your boundaries and treating everyone equally, you may actually be helping by modeling good behavior.
There is something that Bliss has shown time and time again. She shows good behavior and in turn they get better. And to be fair, we all struggle with this. One thing to keep in mind is that this is hard to do. So okay, mixed bag.
Be inclusive, even of entitled people. On a more positive note, we may be able to more directly help entitled people feel less inadequate and behave in a more processual way. One study found that when people felt ostracized or excluded from social experiences, they were more likely to feel entitled and be dishonest. If people are feeling shunned, they try to make up for it by making themselves feel more important. This makes sense. If people are feeling shunned, their pride and sense of self is hurt, and they try to make up for it by making themselves feel more important. The rest of us may be able to help by simply being kind and inclusive in social settings, as long as it's not damaging to ourselves or others. This might give people we see as entitled a chance to show that they're capable of playing fair when they're not feeling threatened.
Well, here I have somewhat including her. Granted, whether or not she feels included because I'm looking at both sides of the coin may not be enough, as well as talking about my issues with the entitlement video. I try to apply praise and positivity when it's required. And to be fair, I don't know if Liz has been doing the same thing. Her friends might be more inclusive than her, but that actually implies that I know that. I don't, so feel free to point it out.
Remember, there's only so much you can do. It's a cliche, but it's true. People can only change themselves. You can try to help them, and protect yourself, by setting limits, being egalitarian, and feeling compassion, but ultimately, you can't change them. Do your best to steer clear. It's one of the few times in life where being punished with the silent treatment might actually be a blessing. To wrap up, as Malcolm Forbes famously said, you can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. So tip your waiter generously, smile and ask how your barista's day was, and give up your seat to the elderly lady on the subway. The aim of treating others with respect and kindness isn't to be better than the entitled people. That misses the point. Instead, it's to make everyone's day a little better, which, ironically, is exactly how to gain true admirers.
Yeah, her schedule is really hard to find time to do stuff, in which I understand her time. Balance is the thing, so if I keep pestering, keep in mind that I need to know what you can do. Well, this is to say she doesn't have to explain all the rules and her limits. I feel like some of her close to her friends needs to be reasonable and tell me the rules. I'll admit that I could have done something, but I don't want to rush it because that will make the situation worse. Overall, handling entitled people is hard to do since we don't know them. So in this case, I can't say it's her fault. I mean, as a leader, everything is, but that could apply to me as well. So anyone who knows or are close friends with Lightning Bliss, I'm sorry. It doesn't mean not I'm going to not point out flaws, but I will be mindful of when it's the right time to point out. Or try. If you like to talk about something, my Discord server link is in the description below. I'll be mindful and think of your feelings. I know some would want me to give a benefit of a doubt, so feel free to reach out. I'm Metawater and I need to relax.